Hey guys, it is time for October's Q&A. Some of you may know that I've been planning to do something a little different lately since I started my Ask FM page about a month ago. So I'm trying to cut down in these videos for a lot of the questions that, I either get asked a lot or questions that I feel like most people probably don't really care to hear. Maybe like the one person who asked might care. But anyway, so this last time, for all the questions that I accepted, I had them all go to my Ask FM page, and I chose, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just answering 7 questions here, and that's it. I don't want to do another like 45-minute long video of just me talking because, frankly, I don't know. It's kind of annoying for me, and I feel like it'd just be better in general to just have just like a few questions here and there, so that it's not super annoying to watch. And I feel like these questions are, maybe not for the most part, but I feel like they're at least a little bit more entertaining and maybe a little bit more interesting for people. So anyway. First question was, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And this is actually not on Ask Him. This was just from a friend of mine. And I thought about this pretty good. And, I feel like it really just depends on the woodchuck itself. Because if a woodchuck could chuck wood, that doesn't necessarily mean he wants to chuck wood because, all woodchucks are different. And, like me personally, I'd maybe chuck 1 or 2 and then I'd kind of be over it. But another woodchuck, not that I'm a woodchuck, but someone else could want to chuck wood all day. So, there you go. A lot of these don't have names on them, like I said, so, even if you did leave your name and I forget, then whatever, you probably don't care anyway. Before I forget, all the questions that I did not answer in this video, I will be answering on Ask FM over the next few days. I don't plan on answering them all just right off the bat, so definitely be checking them out there. There may be like a 1% chance I won't answer your question just because it's something I just don't feel like answering, or if it's just a really bizarre question, or if it's not even a question at all. So, anyway, here we go. Question number 2. What games do you like, and how many games do you play? Lately, I've just been playing Borderlands 2. I played it a lot when it first came out, and I stopped for a while just because I had other stuff to play, and even after that, I stopped playing video games for quite a while, maybe like half a year, maybe even longer, to do more guitar-oriented stuff. But I've definitely been getting back into it. The new Borderlands comes out in a couple weeks, which is really going to be great. New Smash Brothers comes out on 3DS soon. I have that pre-ordered. I'll be playing that. And a friend of mine's really been trying to get me to get the new Stronghold Crusader 2 game. I used to play Stronghold Crusader all fucking day. I played the hell out of that. And it's a really cool game. Some of you might not know what it is. It's a real-time strategy game. It's kind of like Age of Empires, but it's pretty much just medieval stuff, and it's really cool. But like, what types of games I like? I like first-person shooters. I like RPGs, like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. Platformer. I really like side-scroller games. So that's pretty much it. Next question. I have 200, I think that's pounds, euros, I don't fucking know. I'm going to say pounds. Max to spend on an amp, and I play mostly Blink and stuff like that. What amp and or pedal would you recommend? Personally, I'd just save up more money and get a better amp. That ends up being like a little over $300. And I mean, you can get some okay amps for the money, but I mean, it's nothing great, and certainly not an amp and a pedal. I mean, for that type of money, I mean, you'd be really stretching it thin. I would definitely buy used for one. Um, and I don't know. I mean, if you have to get something, I would recommend maybe like a used PV amp. There's a lot of really good um, PV models. I used the Valve King for a while. That worked great. You could maybe even find like maybe a 5150, or maybe not a 5150 for that money, but I mean something PV works pretty good. Randall's okay. Um, Maybe a cheap orange, like a solid state orange. I'd kind of stay away from like the cheaper Marshalls. I didn't really like those. I'd stay away from Crate. Um, I don't know. You could maybe try out Black Star. Some of their cheaper stuff might work. I mean, I'd try something like that. But I mean, personally, I would just save your money a little bit longer, get something better. I mean, yeah, I think it would be worth it, personally. Next question. Someone asks, I see that you're sort of on a natural wood guitar finish kick at the moment. I want to know if you like walnut finishes on guitars, and if you've ever considered a Gibson Les Paul Artisan. And he linked the video to an Artisan. I mean, it looks like a nice guitar. I don't know if they always come with the 3 pickups. I don't like 3 pickup guitars for the most part. Especially for Les Pauls, I would definitely want a two pickup. But I don't really plan on buying another Les Paul, especially not another high quality one. That's for sure. Anytime soon, anyway. So, I mean, Walnut looks cool. I mean, it looked nice on that guitar. I'm assuming on that guitar that you posted, it was a walnut finish. So I mean, it looked nice. But for a lot of like the natural style wood for guitars, I just like a lighter wood. I don't know, like a lighter shade. I just think it shows off the wood a little better. But I don't know. I mean, I do admit I've really been on a natural finish kick lately, and I mean, that's not something new. I mean, it's just something that I'm finally going through with. I mean, a lot of the guitars I have finishes that I don't even really care for. I mean, like my 335, the only reason I have that guitar in that finish is because it was a guitar that's been in my family for almost 30 years. Yeah, I mean, 335s are cool, but I mean, if I was going to get any color, I'd probably get like a red one or maybe a blue one or something. Same thing with like my Jazzmaster. That's a Sunburst too. I don't really like Sunbursts. But you know, I got a good deal on it. So, I mean, ever since I got my Explorer years ago, back in high school, that wasn't a natural guitar, but ever since then I wanted a natural guitar just because a natural Explorer looks so good. So, that's pretty much it. Next question. Someone says, how's the new Telecaster? Basically, it's really cool. I really, really like how light it is, but at the same time, I do wish it was a bit heavier and a bit denser, just to give me like just bigger, heavier tones. That's why I bought it. I didn't realize it was so thin and so light before I bought it, but you know, what can you do? It's a very comfortable guitar. I definitely like it a lot more since I put the bare knuckle Miracle Man in it, because I wasn't really liking the pearly gates that much. The coil tapping's cool. I've never had a guitar that I know of. Oh no, I mean, I had the ES339, the Epiphone that had coil tapping in it. But this guitar's got coil tapping, which is cool. The neck is pretty comfortable. I'll probably upgrade the tuners to locking tuners pretty soon. I'd like to upgrade the neck pickup as well. And maybe I'll even do all black hardware. I haven't really decided on it, but I mean, it looks great. I love it. It does have a pretty good crack on the front of it, but I knew about that beforehand and whatever. It has jumbo frets on it, and I don't think I've ever had jumbo frets on a guitar. I've had medium jumbo, and those jumbos are fucking huge. So I'm still adjusting to those, but overall, it's a really cool guitar. Um, I definitely see myself having fun with it for a while. So we'll see. Next question. If someone gives you $10,000 to spend on guitar gear, what would be the first thing that you'd buy? I've thought about this for a while, and honestly, I think what I'd love to do is to get all my gear really situated just down perfect. Like, for example, um, my blue Telecaster, I'd love to get a new neck on it with bigger frets. I'd like to get the neck pickup, swapped to a pile driver neck for bare knuckles so it matches. Um, what else? I mean, I'd like to get like new pickups for the bass. I'd like to finally get the full setup and refret on my 335. I just like it so that all the guitars I have were just good to go. I mean, each one of them, for the most part, I mean, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them have something I'd like to tweak on. So, I mean, I would definitely do that. Um, I'd like to get a new amp head. I don't know what I'd get, but something maybe a little different other than like the Mesa and the PV. Um, I don't know, maybe like an orange that's maybe like a little different sounding. Not necessarily like if I got a rocker verb, I mean that'd be pretty similar to these style amps anyway. It's definitely a heavier, modern sounding amp. Maybe like an OR50 or something I could do. Um, or even like the dual dark 50. I mean that one's sort of similar to these two, where it's really good for like metal and stuff. So I mean that'd be cool to get like a really cool orange amp, um, or maybe even a different amp. I don't know, like the new PRS Archon amp looks really cool. I've always wanted to try an Angle amp, ENGL it's called. Those ones look really cool. I'd love to get a mayonnaise guitar too. Oh man, I always want to try one of those, but they're like 3 or 4 grand, so I don't see that happening. All right, I definitely wanted to answer this one because I know a lot of people would be asking me this. Um, I was asked, what are my thoughts on New Found Glory's new songs that they released, and do I plan to cover the whole Resurrection album? And what about Yellow Card's new album? So basically, I know Selfless from New Found Glory pretty well. I mean, obviously I covered it. I did a lesson on it, and I've heard it a good amount. So I think it's a good song. I don't think it's a great song. Ready and Willing, I don't really like. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't like that song very much. It's pretty generic sounding. Ready and Willing, I listened. No, that was one I was just talking about. Stories of a Different Kind, I listened to once, just to get just a short impression of it, and I liked it a lot more than Ready and Willing, and maybe even more than Selfless. I thought that was a pretty good song, and I have not listened to Stubborn. So basically, I'm just gonna wait till the album comes out in full, just so I can just sit and listen to it from front to back, because what happens with a lot of albums is they'll, like, a band will release a song or two like weeks or months in advance, and I'll just listen to them so much, and then when the album comes out, I won't want to listen to those 1 or 2 songs like ever. Like, I'll just fucking keep skipping them, and I'll just leave them behind, and I don't like when that happens. You know, it'll take me months before I really want to listen to those songs again, before I want to skip them if I'm listening to the album. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to keep happening to me. Like, for example, there was some when the new I Am Abomination album came out, which I love, like from a couple years ago. There was a couple songs in that like came out just before it, and I must have listened to those 100 fucking times each at least. And when the new album came out, all I wanted to listen to were the other 8 songs on the album, not those 2. And I like really having it as a whole, and I don't know, it seems to work better for me. I like it better that way. And do I plan to cover the whole Resurrection album? I don't know. I mean, I tried getting into Ready and Willing, and I tried learning it, and it just wasn't really doing it for me. I don't know. So I mean, it really depends on the rest of the songs. I mean, I don't plan on doing an album from start to finish because, frankly, I just don't get views from them. Um, I'd get, I mean, say for instance, right now, I think I have the whole "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" album on YouTube, and I think since I put it up, let me actually go look. Since I put it up, um, it has just over 5,000 views, and it's been up for 7 months. If I put up each song individually, they probably would have given me combined possibly 10 times more than that. And I just don't see the point. I mean, maybe I could do the whole album, but I'll release that with, like, at the same time as releasing each song individually for covers. I mean, I know I can see why people like the full album covers, but you know, for me personally, I just don't get the views for the amount of work that I put in. I mean, I really don't. So, I mean, it's something that I've definitely been thinking about, and you know, hopefully understand. So, and when it comes down to the Yellow Card album, I think I've heard one song from it, and it was the first one. I think it was called One Bedroom or something. Really wasn't doing it for me. I think I only listened to it once, and I have not listened to the other songs from the album for the same reason, for the New Found Glory stuff. I do know that it's streaming now. I will get around to listening to it maybe tomorrow or the next day. So we'll see what my opinions are. But a friend of mine that really likes Yellow Card, I know he said he wasn't really impressed with what he heard so far. This was maybe like a week ago, so we'll see. I don't know. I hope it's good. I mean, I haven't really been in the mood for Yellow Card lately. I've been skipping them on my shuffle a lot. So, next question. If you were in a band, what other band would you most like to be a support act for on a tour? I think it would be awesome to support Bayside, because I mean, while I don't necessarily think the stuff that I do sounds a lot like them, but I definitely take a lot from them. Especially like the leads that Jack does. I mean, the guy's a fucking beast, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's close enough to that sort of style where people would like it. And plus, I just love Bayside anyway. I mean, I'd rather do that than a band that I'm not super close to. I mean, I could maybe do like Blank or something, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe it wouldn't react as well with like the super pop punky like fucking girls in the crowd or whatever. So I don't know. I think Bayside would be cool. I don't know. Maybe Bayside and Blink and 4 Year Strong. Why not? And last question. What do you think of the Mesa Boogie cab clone? It seems like something you'd enjoy. You know, I heard about it when it first came out, and like I didn't really think much of it. But I've been getting more interested in it from the idea of it, because, like I've been saying, I actually I didn't say it in this video. I said it in another video. I've been having a hard time getting a really good mic'd tone from my amps, and I love the way my amps sound. They sound fucking killer. And I mean, I've been using the Jam Up app from Positive Grid on the iPad a little bit for recording, and I mean, it does sound really good, but it doesn't have the character that my amp does. So I don't know. I mean, I like it. I don't love it. And I'd really like to be able to capture the way my guitar and amp really sounds on recording for like covers or for my own songs or whatever. But the only few actual demos I heard of it didn't sound that great. The main one I heard was the new Rob Chapman video at Anderton's with the cab clone, and even they really didn't like it that much compared to their mic tone, but their mic tone was fucking incredible. So I don't know. I feel like compared to my mic tone, it would probably be an improvement, but I don't know if I'd want to spend $300, depending on how much of an improvement it is, when I could just use the Jam Up app. So I don't know. It's it's something I'll have to hear more of. I wish I could try it before I bought it. I mean, I guess I could buy it, and then if I didn't like it, I could just list it for sale. I don't know. But I also don't have $300 to just throw at that right now. I've got so many other things lined up that I want to spend money on right now. Like my 335, I got to put at least $300 into that for the refret and the pickup swap and everything like that. If you're curious, I'm not doing the pickup swap on that one because you have to go through like the F holes and everything like that just to be able to do everything with the pods, and fuck that, I'm not doing that. I'll let my luthier do that. So maybe later on in the year, if I get some extra cash or something, I'll try it out. I mean, in theory, it seems really cool. I know there's other amp or cab simulators out there I could try, so maybe I'll even do that. I've even been curious about the Randall ISO cabs. Those seem pretty cool, where they have two different ones, where one's just like a tall like square that you just have a mic in, and there's just a speaker underneath, and you just connect your head straight to that. And then they have another one, basically, so it's like an isolation box where it just captures just the fucking tone, and that's it. And then they have another one where it's pretty much the same type of thing, except it looks like a Randall 4x12, which is pretty cool. Where like the back cab, like the back of the cab, like has a little door that you sit a microphone in, and it just has like one speaker in it. It's not even a 4x12 at all, and then you just close the door, and it's supposed to capture your sound pretty well. I know Ola England uses one of those recently. That he seems to get some good sounds out of, but I mean, he gets good sounds out of fucking anything. So I don't know. I'd like to be able to figure out a good way to get some better mic'd tones, or at least some better tones that sound like my amp. The tones I've been getting on Jam Up do sound pretty good, but I mean, they don't really sound like my amp to me. So I don't know. So anyway, that's the last question I'm going to answer. I tried to be a little bit more in depth with all these questions. I mean, I know the questions weren't there weren't so many, but I mean, I tried to be a little broader about them, not just kind of rush them. And like I said, the questions that I did not answer, I will be answering on Ask FM. So if you're curious, definitely check those out. And I mean, right now I answered 7 on here, but I have 46 questions that I can answer on Ask FM. So I'll definitely be doing a couple every now and then. So if you have any questions at all, leave them below on YouTube or on Ask FM or on fucking anywhere. You know how to get in touch with me. I'll pretty much answer just about anything for the most part. So that's about it. And thanks for watching. And hopefully you guys like these a little bit shorter Q&As. So I'll see you next month.